It's been described as the world's most dangerous sport. Gliding through the air, through mountainsides, to over valleys. And for the daredevils, even through the needle's eye. But given the pull of gravity, what stops these sportsmen from going splat? Modern wingsuits are products of decades of engineering and, unfortunately, casualties. The first recorded wingsuit invention and test was in 1912 at the Eiffel Tower, barely a decade after the Wright brothers' first flight. Franz Reichelt gathered the press and a group of interested onlookers. He was going to test his first parachute suit that was, in his words, only a little more voluminous than ordinary clothing. It is reported that he convinced the authorities to allow him do this by telling them he was going to run the test using dummies. He climbed up the Eiffel Tower, paused for a little while, apparently having second thoughts. But jumped off eager to prove the validity of his invention. Following him, several so-called birdmen tried several wing constructions to help them fly, using metal, plastic, and different fabrics. Of the 75 so-called birdmen, 72 were killed testing their various constructions. The sport was banned by the United States Parachuting Association in the 1960s. What's in a wingsuit? Old technology was either too rigid for maneuverability, not durable enough to withstand the pressure, or simply did not follow the rules of flight. During World War II, however, this was to change. To understand the challenge and the solution, the rules of flight require that the jumper reconcile four forces. Air is fluid, much like water. Imagine putting your hand out of a moving car. You meet resistance. When a jumper jumps out of a plane or off a cliff, weight pulls them down and they plummet rapidly towards the earth, meeting the same resistance. Lift occurs when the downward momentum of the fall meets resistance. If you create an airfoil, net lift will not only slow down the jumper, but it will lift them up and move them through the air. For wingsuit jumpers, there is no thrust like that created by an airplane engine or the wings of an eagle, so they glide and do not fly. Drag is a resistant force that slows them down. Question: if you fall out of an airplane without a parachute, what quick reaction will make you most likely to survive? Answer in the comment section. You see a river, you maneuver towards it. B, you see a bunch of trees and you steer towards them. Or C, you aim for an RV next to a nearby field. By the way, you have 60 seconds before you hit the ground. Back to the video. Now, a functional wingsuit must then create an airfoil capable of producing net lift. The human body is used as a skeletal membrane. The inventor uses a web design to create as wide a surface area as possible. When the diver straightens his legs and arms, he pushes his spine and shoulders forward and thus creates airfoil, much like a bird's wing. Although modern wingsuits have various designs, most of them use a material called RIPSTOP nylon. This is the fabric that stops them from going splat. During World War II, the US Army needed fabric for its uniforms that could avoid rips in the battlefield. Coincidentally, the Air Force also needed lightweight and strong fabric that could be used for its parachutes instead of the expensive silk they were using at the time. Thankfully, the year before the war started, DuPont, one of the large multinational chemical companies, had invented a new kind of fabric called nylon. It was lightweight and very inexpensive to make. It was also rip resistant. RIPSTOP nylon uses a special reinforcing technique that stops rips from spreading once they occur. The fabric is woven in squares, every 1/8 of an inch. Extra threads of polyester or nylon are woven in, acting as reinforcements against the tear. These are often used in outdoor products where durability and weight are very important. The fabric was refined over time and is presently used in parachutes, hot air balloons, or even fashionable pants and trousers. For wingsuits, additional innovation on its structure, many by inventors that lost their lives, led to, by the 1980s, a safe specialized bodysuit capable of flight. This led to the removal of its ban and its more recent growth as a sport. Now, these sports are done by professionals and still have a very high mortality rate. Needless to say, don't try this at home. I will leave links in my description of the articles I used for this research. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.